So I want to tell you this story about something that happened to me. It was a few years ago now. Um, I was riding my bicycle out here, just down the street from where I live now, actually. Um, and so I'm in Arizona, and there is actually quite a bit of wildlife here. Um, and I'm riding my bicycle, and on my way home, I found a deer that had been struck by a vehicle, and it was just laying there on the side of the road. And so I stopped my bicycle and I'm looking at this deer, and I realize it's pretty intact. It looks like it just got struck in the head, and I should be able to process this deer and feed my family. And so I'm about, I want to say about a mile and a half away from home, so it's not terribly far. And I am trying to figure out, how do I get this deer home, um, because otherwise it'd just be a waste just sitting there on the side of the road. And so I have a little bag of emergency tools and different things that I might need while I'm out biking, and um, I have some zip ties, and I'm like, all right. So I take the zip ties and I take the deer, and I decide that the best way that I can finagle this is put the deer on my lap, um, and just to kind of help secure it, I actually zip tied the deer's front legs to my arms, and I zip tied the deer's back legs to my ankles. And so I've kind of got it sitting on my lap while I'm riding the bicycle, and I just start going. Now, I will admit, I did get several crazy looks from people as they're driving by, and I've got this deer on my lap, and its head is kind of hanging to the side, and I'm just sitting there going along, riding my bicycle. And where I'm at is the foothills of the Superstition Mountains. There's a lot of ups and downs, and so as I'm seeing, okay, there's a hill up here, and I'm going down, I try to get as much momentum as I can, and I'm pedaling as fast as I can and getting my speed up as fast as I can, so that as I go up the hill, I have all of that momentum with me, because I've literally got this dead weight with me, and it's a lot. Well, I mean, it's a deer. It's maybe 100 pounds. It's not a lot, but on a bicycle, I mean, that can be a lot of extra weight. And so I decide, or so I'm going along, and I get to this last long hill, and I'm like, all right, I really got to push it. And so I am pumping as hard as I can, as fast as I can, and just going getting as much speed as I can going downhill as we're getting ready to go up this uphill. And as I'm going up this hill, I realize I don't have the momentum that I need to get to the top of the hill. And I get so I'm like about a quarter of the way up the hill when I realize this. And I'm like, okay, so trying to figure out different solutions. I get about halfway up the hill and I realize I'm in a really precarious or awkward situation, because it's not like I can get off of the bicycle and walk the bike up the hill, because I've now got this deer zip tied to me, and I'm questioning some of my life choices. So I, not knowing what to do, I say a prayer, and I ask, and then I say, God, I'm thankful for this opportunity that I have to bring home this deer, to help feed my family. And my family's going to, this is really going to help me and my family. We don't need it, but it's helpful to have this extra meat. But I realize that I've made the dumb choice of zip tying this deer to myself. I don't know how I'm going to get this deer home, and I need help trying to figure out a solution. And I close the prayer in Jesus' name, and almost immediately after I finish saying this prayer, the deer wakes up. It wasn't asleep or dead. it was just knocked out. Or maybe my pumping of the bicycle tires kind of got that blood moving within that deer and resuscitated the deer. Or maybe it was a miracle of God. I don't know. But the deer is now alive. And I've got this deer strapped onto me on this bicycle, and it's freaking out. I'm freaking out, but I just keep pumping my legs. And as I'm pumping my legs, this deer, it catches the rhythm of me pumping my legs, and it starts pumping its legs along with me. And the two of us, we powered right up to the top of that hill. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I get to the top of the hill, and the deer realizes, yeah, I'm done with this. This is a little weird. And so it kind of starts thrashing around again. And as it's thrashing around, it starts pulling on my arms and pulling on my legs, just like I'm pulling your legs right now. Have a great day.